Hi Pisces, welcome to the Animals Magic Shop. I'm Lisa with your weekly animal spirit message for April 10th through the 17th, 2023. And this is a one-card reading, but your animal this week may have multiple messages for you. Okay, let's get started. Animal spirits and guides, what would you like Pisces to know this week? This is for Pisces, please. Okay, Pisces, you have Squirrel, and Squirrel is asking you to be prepared this week. Now, we all know what squirrels do. They collect tons of seeds and nuts and berries, especially nuts, and they bury them in the ground. And they collect so many things that they sometimes forget where they put them, but in doing that, they also are responsible for planting a lot of trees. So that's a good thing. A little bit of extra is a good thing. So Squirrel is asking you to be prepared for this coming winter. Now, I know that winter is a long time off. Let's see, it's April, May, June, July, August, September. So maybe 5 or 6 months before it starts getting cold. And Squirrel is asking you to take a look around your home, assess what you need, make a list, and start to get it. And with food being so expensive these days, it's a good thing to have kind of a heads up on this. You know, it's not something, if you don't have a good supply of food already, then it's time consuming. I know I didn't start really having anything extra in the house whatsoever until 2020. And shortly after 2020 happened and I found myself not able to get meat all the time for my dog and paper towels and toilet paper and geez, you know, every time I turned around something else was hard to get. So after 2020 happened, I really started just getting a little bit extra every week. And, you know, now a couple of years later, it has added up. I remember one year we were supposed to go to New Hampshire for Thanksgiving, and there was a terrible storm, and we had to stay home and eat soup. So, you know, there's a lot of reasons to be prepared, Pisces, for the future and for the winter and any other bad weather events or supply chain shortages or transportation issues, or just there are just so many things, you know, crop failures. We've had crazy weather in the USA and crazy weather in Canada and Mexico and geez, you know, kind of like everywhere things have just been a little bit unusual. So it's good to have, you know, not to go on and on about this too much, but it's good to have extras of everything, Pisces. So food, number one, water, and also any medicines that you might need. You might like to have a little bit extras of those. And this was especially on my mind because a couple of days ago, our very popular pharmacy, CVS in the United States, had their website go down. And that happened to them in the morning, and it didn't come back up until later in the evening. So in the meantime, they were unable to fill anybody's prescriptions. And this caused quite a problem at just that one store, from what I'm told, because they not only couldn't fill prescriptions, they couldn't take credit cards either, so people couldn't even, in some cases, get things over the counter. You know, so we're really reliant on the grid, the internet, and sometimes that can really work to our disadvantage. And fortunately, I didn't need anything at the drugstore, but if you're a person who is on insulin, or your children or your parents or you are on very important medication to keep you alive, if your pets need something critical and you run out of it and you expect to get it at the drugstore and you can't, it's always a really good idea to have extras on hand. And I know that can be difficult because insurance companies will only cover your current supply of medication. So there are a few options. You can, well, with pets, I know that my veterinarian has given me some extra medications for my dogs to have on hand. And as far as conventional antibiotics, there are two different places, I believe now, who will sell you an antibiotic kit. The first one is, I believe, JACE, GACE Medical, and they have an assortment of either 6 or 7 of the most common antibiotics that you can get a course of through them. They have doctors there, and they can also give you medical advice, and they send a booklet with the kit on medical advice too, as to which antibiotics to take when. So it's a little bit over $200, I believe, and I heard about it on another channel. Well, actually, a couple of different channels. So that would be one way to get at least antibiotics. And as far as your other medications, maybe you could just speak with your doctor. Maybe you might have to pay for it out of pocket. But, the way things are these days, it's really important to have what you need in case you can't get it. It might be just a day. It could be several days. It could be a week. And if it turns into like more than one day, it could be a matter of great discomfort to you or somebody in your family or one of your pets. And it could even turn out to be a matter of life and death. So I'm really driving this home because of the way things are. If you've been paying attention, you know that if you haven't been preparing, then now is the time to do it, definitely. And this also goes for having extra clothing, extra shoes, maybe an extra pair of eyeglasses, extra matches, extra firewood if you have a wood stove, extra batteries for your flashlights and whatever other equipment you might have. Maybe ways to charge your cell phone, blankets, warm clothes, boots, whatever it is that you require in an emergency situation that you would normally depend on electricity to give you or a store having available to you. And it's really a problem these days with all the stores, like even the supermarkets. If their computers go down around here, a lot of times you have to either use cash, which you may not have on you, or you have to use a debit card. You can't use a credit card, or you have to use a credit card. You can't use a debit card. You can't use cash. So, having a little bit of extra cash on hand is a good idea too, Pisces. So, Squirrel is saying, be prepared for whatever. That's your message. Oh, and I'll mention too, like heartworm pills for your dogs and extra food for your dogs and cats too. I know in Massachusetts there's been kind of a shortage on cat food that's been ongoing for a good 9 or 10 months now. So if you can pick up extra food for your pets, that's always a bonus. So those are your messages for this week, Pisces. We thank you very much for being here, and we'll see you next time. Bye.